Yeah, Citadele is a bank based in the Baltics, and actually, I think very few must probably know about us, but we are a local challenger. We are the one which tried to challenge the market and made a very big move into digitalization, and that's a bit of the story which I want to tell you. So I've been working across M&A business development for the last 20 years across Baltics, then London, then Americas, and then for the last 9 years back into the Baltics. And the chapter and the story which I tell you relates very much to the transformation we've been going through. But you know, what's important about this transformation? When we decided to evolve and made a decision to move in a second iteration of digital, we already are a good, a decent digital bank. Our ratings in the mobile were like above 4.8, NPS best in class, so we're kind of leading the tech solutions for the Baltics, but then why that type of the bank will decide to evolve? And what became for us obvious that the new generation is about to hit the market. And we all know the discussion about Gen Zs and the younger generation, which will come with a totally different expectations. And what we did, we actually engaged quite a comprehensive study for the last 2.5 years actually to move where we are. And that's a move towards digital. So if you think practically and you look on the mobile in general, I think we were all excited and we got in our hands our first smartphone. And this smartphone transformed the way services work today. So you take your smartphone, you operate your apps, you can do everything via these apps. And we most probably were not even imagining that soon these apps will start transforming the way we do financial services. And that's, I think, about the story of us. So if you look on Citadele, so 9 years ago, very much traditional bank. So we came as a good bank out of crisis, and the new shareholder comes roughly, I think, 9 years back, and we go on the big chapter of transformation. We had like roughly 200 pages book of McKinsey saying, okay, that's a direction where you guys can potentially go. And then we had a very great ambition from the day one. We said, like, we actually gonna build a best digital bank in the Baltic, what we named the Baltic Champion. But that was a heading. So we put up something like 11 big hypotheses, trying to figure out how we can crack the market. And one of the first and very obvious things which came across was innovations. And innovation didn't come like, okay, we're gonna go and figure it out. We said, okay, we actually gonna embrace things which others didn't do yet. So we said, we're gonna go in the mobile while others are still thinking non-mobile. We're gonna redesign the cards and bring a lot of brand ambassadors, so we actually become someone who is closer to the audiences. But we also will start bringing some of the products like wearables. So we were one of the first banks to launch NFC. We brought payment rings. We tried to bring different things to actually engage the audience. We also were one of the first banks go into the consumer credit and start doing consumer credit like a fintech. And that became a fundamental in the way how the mobile bank started to operate. But at the same time, we put a customer service as close to our DNA as a digitalization. And this bank, for the 7 years in a row, was awarded as a bank in Latvia for the customer service. And it's actually helped a lot, and we continue to transform by this digitalization. We also went and incubated our local alternative to Klarna or PayPal, and that's what we did roughly, I think, 4 years ago. And the whole idea of that was exactly the changing market and the way how consumers are behaving. We knew that the customer is going to shift, and there will be a certain audience which you cannot access in an old way. So that's where clicks came up to the market. And at the same time, being a very advanced digital bank who actually runs on the mobile more than 20 interactions with customers per month. So it's a real interaction which customer does without looking at the balance screen. We said, okay, we can bring new solutions at scale. And that's where like our biggest scalability platform, insurance, came like roughly 6 months back. If you look on this journey, I think you could ask how actually we end up building that bank in the Baltics, challenging the Nordic banks, challenging the local players. I think it's fairly simple. We focused on very simple things, so we clearly stated what are the strategic choices we as an organization are ready to accept, what are the opportunities in which we want to engage, and what I think opportunities which are going to leave aside, and at the same time, what is the technology which we going to build it upon, what we own, what we bring in-house. And at the end of the day, it became a subject of execution culture and the value which we manage to create for our customers. But along this journey, there were some of the critical strategic bets which we did. Number one, it's coming back to the credit. Back in 2016, we said that we're going to be FinTech from the way how we do credit. So we started with the consumer credit originally in mind. Today, 95% of our loan applications are done fully automatically, and they all are powered by consumer credit. Yes, we have manual reviews in some more sophisticated loans, but today consumer credit, credit cards, mortgages, leasings, you all can process via instant credit using data and data models. We also decided to go mobile back in 2016, when a lot of players said, okay, mobile is something actually not sustainable, it's omni-channel discussion, do you want to go into mobile? But we said actually mobile is something what's going to change the way banking is done. And in 2018, we ran the most comprehensive mobile program, which brought us to this mobile 2.0 version on which we are running up to now, which was built across the major and the most important thing, payments. Because if you do these things right, you actually get the most of your customer engagement. So we build it all around the payments, and it's brought significant engagement to our customers. Then, next interesting theme come to the market, the PSD2, and then everyone jump on and say, oh, we're going to create ability for our customers to link all their accounts, and what's in the end it appears, customers actually don't want it, and we actually said no to this opportunity. Instead, we went into the clicks, which I already mentioned, and we strongly believed that payments, they will give more freedom to our consumers, so we built Clicks, which is our local alternative to Klarna, PayPal. Today, we are like market leader in Latvia for payments in e-commerce. We are between first and second place in Lithuania. We are coming to the first double digit in Estonia fairly soon via recent partnership. So this is the type of the bank we had. And then, one of the strategic choice, which I mentioned, was actually coming roughly 2.5 years ago. So we understood that the market is about to change. The new generation gonna hit that market. This is a generation which is first real digital native generation. This generation lived and worked most on the mobile. But what's important about them, they soon gonna form 15% of the total new workforce, new demand, and they have different habits. They spend more time online. They want to actually interact now. They don't have any willingness to search for information, so they want it instantly because that's how they believe and they live through their ecosystems. They also want to actually try new things. They are very much open to experimentation, but they want to have a bigger purpose. It's not just an app. It's not just a banking. They want to see something more there. They want to see more of green and ecology there. And they are very much engaged in the economy, which is don't own but share. So how then you change your product suite? How you get into subscriptions, in leasings? How you change the way you potentially do with the property and all the rest? It's a totally different demand. But also what we know about these customers, they actually have a totally different behavior set. Once they go social, they expect that the content is delivered specifically for them. They want to engage with this content. They want to browse the content which delivered actually to their expectations. Then they go music. They expect that the music is delivered as per their surrounding, likes, friends, and more or less very much related to their behavior. They go entertainment. And they want this entertainment to be suggested to them based on their needs. So they want the platforms to know what's the next things to watch. And even for the shopping, they rely on recommendation. Now think about the bank today. Do you think a classical bank can have an ecosystem which could really serve their needs? And that's a problem to which we started to look back roughly 2.5 years ago. Because, you know, if you look on the most of the digital banks today, they still call customers with some offers. Even these audience don't want to. They ask customers to search for information, but at the same time, this information can be delivered instantly. And they give them random offers, which doesn't mean anything to them. They also continue to ask for some unnecessary information. Imagine you meet a new friend being somewhere abroad, and they send you some money because you just shared a dinner together. And what suddenly happens? They come to you with some additional questions. Why would you, as a Gen Z, be okay reflecting on a lot of these questions? And at the same time, they continue to show you some unuseful content across the channels which you have. So we decided to actually go into the journey and redefine the banking as we know. Journey which went full process from making the hypothesis, to doing the research, to testing, and then moving back to execution. Journey which ended up bringing us to the totally new platform which we are releasing very much as I speak. But this was not a simple puzzle to solve. Because if you think about your digital ecosystem, you actually, in order to make it orchestrated in the way the all ecosystem delivered to these customers, you actually need to change a lot of pieces. You need to build a store of the products and services so they can be instantly delivered to these customers. So we started with a lot of product pilots. We didn't build it originally on a mobile. We orchestrated it on the web in a way you can seamlessly deliver it to the mobile. But most importantly, we went into the communication pilots. And communication pilots were a lot about experimentation with the reach. So we very much were trying to catch IDs of the customers visiting our channels and semi-manually link them to the IDs across the search and social to make sure that we can deliver same information to the customers. What we learned is that engagement was increasing, it was costing us less of the marketing funds, and most importantly, these customers were reflecting on the products and the offers. That was actually the moment when we started to look for the solution to automate. The hypothesis and this whole notion of Gen Z started to realize that it's not a theory anymore, it's something tangible and realistic, so we decided to give it a try. We are releasing in the coming days what we know a new mobile environment for the Gen Z. It's a fully rebuilt mobile banking app. This new mobile banking app comes with the new look and feel, specifically dedicated for younger generation. And you know, meeting the needs of a digital first new generation means you can meet all the needs of a generation younger than they, but also help elderly generation to transition. It comes with integrated store, so all the products and services which this audience expects instantly, they will be accessible via app with the fully digitized journeys. But most importantly, these journeys, they can be accessed in the way they learn to do them, like in Revolut, putting a plus button for buy the products, or via manageable widgets. So everyone will be able to create the way how they want to interact with the app. We are bringing our Gen AI chatbot later in the fall to the app. This experiment we've started back in March. We released our first chatbot back in March, and it was successfully operating on 3 markets, showing that it can solve 70% of the customer inquiries very much instantly. And that helps to cover this gap of information search and information accessibility. And most importantly, we're bringing this multi-channel marketing hub to make sure that information we deliver to customers is equal across our channel, search, social, everywhere the customer interact with our brand, they will see seamless experience. I want to leave you with a couple of thoughts out of today. When you think about the digital evolution, think about the timing and the reason why you want to do the evolution. Think about your customer. Think about what this change brings to you. Most importantly, bring the competences together. Everyone in your organization needs to understand why this change is important. Everyone from the product to marketing, from technology to sales, operations, everyone need to have same understanding why being an advanced digitally, you need to step in this chapter. Make sure you do a lot of research, because research again with the user is going to bring you valuable insights, and these insights will help you to shift where the real use cases are for your customers. And go into experimentation, because experimentation really helps you to find the right things out of this big context and know where specifically you need to focus your user journey. And most importantly, organize for execution, because otherwise these ideas will stay like hallucinations. Thank you.
Vlad, thank you. Any questions in the room out of that? I've got one, which is that this is my big bugbear, being a gentleman of a certain age. What your new mobile app that you're launching is for Gen Zs. That's my daughter, for goodness sake. Is there a risk in the Baltics, like there may be across the rest of the world, that financial services are leaving certain demographics behind? Older people who are not confident to adopt stuff, that's not me, by the way, not confident enough to adopt new ways of banking and financial services, and that we end up with a two-tier financial services system.
Oh, it's not the case, I think, for the Baltics. It's the same like a Nordic. We are digitally advanced. Majority of our banks went a very long way to digitalization, so we deliver a lot of products digitally. And then, you know, if there are a lot of places are still discussion of omni-channels, we are going opti-channel. Yeah. Which means that we want to have one channel, and for us, a lot of testing was specifically understanding can we go omni-channel for our customers. And as a result of this test, we came actually to conclusion that omni-channel will work. And also what you need to keep in mind, when we were discussing these things like 10, 15 years ago, there was a lot of people who were not familiar with the phones. Today you go, you test your audience, you understand that majority of them know how to deal with your phones. So those who were like 50, 10 years ago, they know how phones operate. They are 60 today, they know how to operate the bank. And with the accessibility directive coming in Europe, that's a new type of the mobile where they actually can be adjustable via your screen. That actually helps you to bring elderly people on board same way as you would bring your Gen Zs.
Cool. Okay, well, look, we wish you good luck with the journey. Thank you very much, Vlad, from Citadele Bank.
Thank you.